Okay, what were we doing actually? I'm not entirely certain. Tell me what we're doing. Someone wanted me to take a photo. I don't know if I really want that. I should probably at least give a shot to each of these things the game wants to ask me to do at random. I'm allowed to forget my real work. In fact, my real work more than anything is just cartography. Oh. A veritable... That's just a random combination of words at that point, but okay. Sure. Veritable whatever sounds like a really good title to be able to use. Hold on. Novice. I forgot I changed it to novice duck. There we go. Veritable duck. Veritable diver. I am absolutely a diver. No doubt about that. I think veritable duck is pretty good by my standards. Okay, cool. Oh, we have to head over to that aquarium, wasn't that it? Yeah, to talk to Sakurai. Alright. We'll also have to do at least one guided tour at some point. Again, just, to see it. But if it's the same thing as the first game, I don't really feel much desire to do more of it. I think part of the reason I feel so reticent about doing some of these things is just that there's no shortage of things for us to do regardless. And doing certain things like going around to take photos of whatever feels kind of redundant with all that. That we're already going to do. It's just retreading stuff we're going to do anyways. I'd still like to do things and given the chance. Like, if I could find those supposedly strange acting fish that were described earlier, I'd be happy to do so. But I certainly tried. Did we contact them beforehand about trying to meet with them, or did we just decide let's walk into their office one day? What, do you think they were going to model anyone who wasn't Sakurai? Of course, they only modeled her. Yeah, you... Oh, never mind. No, this actually is a different person. Supposedly. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. By what standard? She doesn't... Well, I can't really tell how old she's supposed to look, honestly. She doesn't look like 18 or whatever. By what standard? I keep saying that. I don't know why that's a phrase I've decided to fixate on. The former, I have no idea what you're talking about, really. The game just keeps saying I am when it throws equipment at me, and I... Okay. No fear. I don't know if that's a good thing. I just randomly decide to swim by some sharks and so on, but... Yeah. Well, what? No, that's not what happened with GG. What happened with GG was he left us to die, basically, and we hid, and where we hid happened to have what we were looking for. Like a day ago or whatever. Or probably in the interim between us finding the thing and us coming here. Which presumably was more than just like one day, considering we just flew over to whatever the place in the world. On a first name basis already? I find that strange. Why would it be complex? Figure it'd just be, a script like any other. Even if, you don't know it. Who are you people? Sure, whatever. Alright, this is gonna be our next map, I guess. I'll probably head back and fill out the secondaries map first, honestly. I'd like to kind of get stuff done as we go along instead of having to, I don't know, completing the story or something and then saying, well, we left a lot of stuff behind. Okay, it's kind of, okay. It's not very C whatever, but to put on the aquarium. Okay, I guess. There's a lot more to ask than that. What kind of data? It's just look at a polar bear, report your findings. I mean, surely people have done that before. Yeah, I know that. And I don't know what you want, honestly, but good enough an excuse for me, I guess. Now, is this where we're going to have our super deep dark stuff? That'd be cool, although presumably polar bears are not going like a kilometer deep into the ocean, so... Who told you that? Okay, at this point it's just like people are spying on us. Where are these paparazzos following me from? Also, I can't just take a dolphin to the Arctic, can I? I mean, I'm being both legally and in the sense of, like, practicality and whether the dolphin can even habitate such a place. Although, I don't know if we really have laws down there. Most places have laws about moving certain living things from one place to another, but I guess the Arctic might not be one of those places. I don't know what kinds of treaties or whatever govern that kind of place. No? Okay, whatever. Bye. I will turn around and go somewhere else. 9 ball. Alright. In that case... I think what I want to do... Yes. Oh, North Coast of Canada. Nice. I feel like that's not... Is that really a singular northern coast? I admit I haven't paid a lot of attention to that particular part of the country, as people tend not to. But... Anyways, let's fill out the strait first, before we worry too much about that. Yeah, we're getting some representation of different parts of the world here. That's kind of fun. It's also interesting to see something on the Arctic side of the world instead of the Antarctic, which, I mean, makes sense given there's more, like, open water, I think, covering that part of the planet than... Hello? Than the south side. But still, people just talk more about the Antarctic than the Arctic in my experience. I'm yet to really see a motivation for bringing anyone with me, although... hold on. I should perhaps see if the penguins, if the... There's not more to explore over here, too. If the dolphins can grant me access to stuff I couldn't otherwise access. There is clearly something in the castle that I can't access yet. Well, I think what you needed... I think there was one place I saw what looked like a place where you need someone to move like a big rock out of the way or something to that effect. There was another where there was a small passageway that I could not go through. Presumably I could ask someone else to. presumably seen all these guys before. Nope. Oh, okay, cool. It's the legendary whatever, just right underneath our boat. Just a specific legendary fish, apparently. Okay. I'm now a Viking. Cool. Monstrous sailfish. Yeah. Yeah, I guess this is just some legendary individual creature that may or may not actually exist in the real world. I'm not sure what the background on that is. It seems like this game has a few of that sort of thing. Okay, but where do we want to go here? Just want to, and the main goal, of course, is to fill out the map. So let's see what ground we can cover here. This is not a very impressively filled out map. In fact, I probably should come here at night because certain aspects are not accessible during the day. That's kind of the gimmick here, right? But we'll see what we can manage. It's like we're going to cover the entirety of this place in one outing anyhow. So the fact there's stuff I can't quite reach during the day right now is not a problem, I don't think. I don't know, I should be looking down here a little bit more. Surely there's stuff down there. It's just that usually you can cover the most ground up towards the surface. Although here with these rocks, that might not be the case. I might be able to go further up against the wall down here. I don't know, the invisible wall surrounding this very visible wall is actually jutting pretty far out. And not letting me get very close to the visible wall. Hey, come on. Just wanted to make sure that wasn't something new. Anyhow. Just a dolphin here. But the thought is, if I run into some particular obstacle that they might be able to help out with, I may get some message about how they can help me or something. Granted, the game's yet to give me any hints about that sort of thing, saying, oh hey, if you had some companion with you, they could help you here. That might happen once it's actually possible. Or maybe not. Maybe I have to figure it out myself. Maybe this game's willing to put faith in me. Maybe not. Seen plenty of you guys already, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm entirely wrong. Okay. It turns pale when it dies is a funny thing to point out to me, just because I feel like lots of things do that. I feel like it's kind of the default. Yeah, it's a bit more exciting. Well, that's perhaps not the best word to use, but it's a bit more interesting to be a little deeper as we explore the map here. Okay, we're now officially North Canyon, despite that being what this drop-off point was titled to start with. More stingrays. How many stingrays do we have here? More serrated blades. Very nice. Let's fill in this one bit here. Come on, there we go. And not only is it satisfying in its own right to fill out the map, but it's also just a good way to ensure that I've seen some approximation of the entire map. To see all the things that there are to be seen. Figured I'd seen those guys, just wanted to make sure. If I haven't looked in a few weeks or something. I think it can be forgiven for me to not entirely remember if I've seen a given fish before or not. Heals. Conger. Alright. What are these? Are these like ceramics? I thought they were rocks at first, but no, that looks like they're all like pots. Huh. Someone just dumped the things here? Hi. Staring right at me. Oh, well, look at all the high density of legends here, supposedly. Caviar vessel. Mixed messages here. I wouldn't support doing such a thing, and we will now dub them caviar vessel, reducing them to mere vessel for caviar. The dolphin seems to be getting along with them. Alright, I think you're dragging me really far away from where I was. Go on. Hold on. Yeah, I got dragged all the way back here. Jeez. The game just takes control of your movement when you're in that camera mode following a fish. They can drag you really far away sometimes from where you started. There's gonna be a lot of stuff to explore in the southeast, I feel like. Or at least a really big open area, if nothing else. Curious if it's gonna get really deep over there or something. Like it did in the southwest portion of the first area. Okay, there's somebody who... Ow. Good aim. Stop that. Anyways. It's a really weird mechanic. It's weird. Would you stop that? I just want to look at stuff, man. Stop that. That's actually... Okay, this is actually kind of annoying. Can you make up your mind on whether I'm being attacked or not? Presumably it's just, like, you're in proximity of someone. It's not like I can look around very well or see, like... I don't know what side of me they're on. Stop that. Oh, we've got lots of them? Ow. Can I examine these ones or not? This is actually really annoying. It's also just really funny. Oh, the game just decided, no, you're not allowed to read this. Could you stop that? This is actually really annoying. Also, I'm stuck in this camera mode. I cannot stop looking at them to regain control to read this. Yeah, the game keeps deciding that I'm being approached and I cannot look at this menu. Like, I realize I shouldn't be hanging out in a big cloud of great white sharks. But, like, there's not much I can do to really navigate around these guys. Man, that sound is not pleasant. But it is also just comical to me how they come up to you and slap you. That is not the usual way for a shark to interact with you aggressively. I understand why they did it, but it's still really funny. Just how unusual it is. And really, I hope that's not too much of a thing in this game, because it's just frankly annoying so far. Hi. And on top of it, the game's, it's one of those things where, a thing that I oftentimes find myself saying about awkward mechanics and stuff like that is, you see cases where a game engine was clearly designed for one thing and then got tossed into something else. This engine was clearly not designed for, you know, moving around quickly, or knowing if there's something... Oh, hello. Some direction from you. Don't know if there was any particular thing that the dolphin was looking for. They clearly noticed something. Maybe you're looking at one of these and not the other? But this game's engine is clearly not designed for, you know, looking... Like, you can't look around yourself quickly to, like, look at threats or whatever. Or to turn towards threats to defend yourself from them. Yeah, it says, oh hey, there's a shark somewhere, and you don't know where. It would help a little bit if they at least gave an indication of where they are relative to you. Which I don't think is any more unreasonable for the game to do than just, you know, giving you some intuition of there being sharks around you in the first place. But that would at least give me a way of knowing, okay, I need to turn this way, which might give me time to react, but otherwise it's just, I don't even have time to react. But there's also stuff like, this game will take control away from you as you're looking through a menu to see the description for a fish or whatever. But time still passes as you're doing that, which normally doesn't matter because time passing isn't normally that big of a deal in this game, with a small exception, of course, of, you know, the amount of time you can spend diving being affected by that. But that's really it. But now I can get knocked out of a menu as I'm just trying to read something or whatever. If someone wants to be aggressive, which is very annoying. Anyhow, we'll see how that evolves as time goes on. I suspect they're not fully finished developing that mechanic yet. It'll come up more as we progress through the game. It's only just been introduced so far. Anyways, I suspect that's all we can do on this outing, because we don't have a lot of time left, and we got most of our air smacked out of us, probably. I didn't really catch very clearly how much air we lost, although it didn't look like that much each time we got hit, I don't think. Yeah, I know, game. I'm going back if I have time to, which I very likely don't, but we'll see. It looked like I more or less lost like 1 bar of air or something each time. Yeah, no way I'm making it back. Oh well. Alright, getting to go back to the boat, but unfortunately that's just not what happens a lot of the time. This place is a bit more complicated to navigate, and again, you know, losing air to sharks, which loses me time that I could have used to navigate. I don't remember if your air completely empties before you get kicked out. I think this last bar that I'm on right now is all you get. I think it's just gonna any second now tell me, nope, I'm getting kicked out now. Although this last bar definitely lasts longer than others. That lasted a really long time. Oh, she's actually here if you don't bring her along. That's funny. Alright. Well, I got some of the map filled out. Not a whole lot, but I guess we got to have some quality time with great white sharks. That's a good chunk of the map filled out. It's just, I don't think we got as much as we did from an equivalent dive back. Back in the first area. Nothing to scoff at, though. Alright, so I think what we'll do is we'll wait for a little bit. I'll wait until nighttime, because we'll have to be here at night to explore much of this place anyways. Alright, And then next time, we'll explore here a little bit. I don't think I'll explore all of this place before, you know, going off and doing something else. I think I'll have one more outing here, see how much I can cover, and then I'll go off and do something else, at least briefly, so it's not just, you know, 3 straight dives of just exploring this one area. But we'll see. Bye, everyone.